Appearances can sometimes be misleading. Beyond makeovers or plastic surgery, one's racial heritage can also defy expectations. The demographic of people with mixed heritage is growing, and this diversity is prominently celebrated in Tinseltown as well. There are stars in Hollywood that you will be surprised to find out are of mixed heritage. From singers to comedians and even sports icons, the entertainment industry harbors a spectrum of celebrities with blended ancestry. Think you can guess who they are? Stay tuned to uncover these lesser-known biracial celebrities. Lynda Carter. Before Gal Gadot took up the mantle of the iconic Amazonian warrior princess from Themyscira, Lynda Carter mesmerized audiences as Wonder Woman for 3 seasons on the beloved television show that blended cheesy charm with a heart of gold. What many didn't realize at the time was that Carter's heritage added another layer of diversity to her portrayal. Born Linda Jean Cordova Carter, her mother, Juana Cordova, hailed from Chihuahua, Mexico, a fact that Carter proudly acknowledges as part of her rich cultural background. In an interview with 55 Plus magazine, Carter shared that her grandmother used to affirm, "That's where beautiful women come from," referring to Mexico, a sentiment that Carter clearly embodies. Her portrayal of Wonder Woman in the 1970s challenged conventions and continues to resonate with fans of all backgrounds. In 2016, amidst discussions about Wonder Woman's portrayal and its implications for feminism, Carter didn't shy away from addressing criticism head-on. When confronted with comments about the character's appearance and attire, she pointed out the double standards applied to female superheroes compared to their male counterparts. Yeah, so? Superman had a skin-tight outfit that showed every little ripple, didn't he? Doesn't he have a great big bulge in his crotch? Hello? So why don't they complain about that? She retorted to the New York Times. And who says Wonder Woman is white? I'm half Mexican. Gal Gadot is Israeli. The character is an Amazonian princess, not American. They're trying to put her in a box, and she's not in a box. Louis C.K., born in Washington, D.C., to a unique blend of cultural backgrounds, comedian Louis C.K. has a heritage that defies simple categorization. His father was Mexican-Jewish and his mother Irish, giving him a multicultural upbringing that started in Mexico, where he lived until the age of 7. Spanish was his first language. In a revealing interview with Rolling Stone in 2013, Louis C.K. reflected on how his racial identity has been perceived throughout his life. Moving to Boston as a child, he found himself categorized as white with red hair, a label that didn't fully capture his complex background. He humorously described himself as an accidental white person. Louis C.K. delved deeper into the evolving concept of race in America, noting how the definition and perception of race have shifted over time. He pointed out the complexities of identity, referencing former President Obama as an example of someone whose experience transcends traditional racial categories. "Race doesn't mean what it used to in America anymore," he remarked. "Is black your experience or the color of your skin?" For Louis C.K., his experience as a Mexican immigrant shaped his perspective more profoundly than merely fitting into a racial box. Acknowledging his outsider status in certain contexts, Louis C.K. contrasted his upbringing with that of fellow comedian George Lopez, highlighting the nuances within the Latino experience in America. Despite not being outwardly identified as an immigrant, he shared personal connections to Mexico through his family, including his grandmother who only spoke Spanish. "My abuelita didn't speak English," he recalled, emphasizing the cultural ties that have influenced his life. Carmelo Anthony. Since his NBA debut in 2003, Carmelo Anthony has consistently dominated the court with his scoring prowess, a career marked by 10 All-Star selections. Famously adorned with a Puerto Rican flag tattoo on his right hand, Anthony's connection to his heritage runs deep. His Puerto Rican father passed away when he was just 2 years old, but his father's legacy lives on through a collection of poetry he left behind. "My dad wrote poetry. I have a book full of poems that he wrote. The book is too heavy to carry around, so I leave it in my office, but I always try to go back and read them," Anthony shared with ESPN, reflecting on the profound influence of his father's words. Beyond basketball, Anthony has used his platform to advocate for causes close to his heart, particularly in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. With a biracial background, his mother is African American, Anthony empathized deeply with the devastation in Puerto Rico, leveraging his celebrity status to raise awareness and support for those affected. He set up a donation page through the Players Tribune, expressing his personal connection to the crisis. "I think about my own family in that situation, and I can't even wrap my mind around it. I can't grasp it." Pete Wentz. Pete Wentz, better known as the bassist for Fall Out Boy, brings a surprising mix of heritage and family connections to the rock scene. Born Peter Louis Kingston Wentz III, his roots trace back to Jamaica through his mother, Dale Wentz, who was born there. Pete's maternal grandfather, Arthur Winston Lewis, added even more distinction to his lineage by serving as the U.S. ambassador to Sierra Leone. Reflecting on his upbringing, Pete shared with Alt Press, "I grew up going to Jamaica a lot. I didn't appreciate then that while Bob Marley and the Wailers are cool, it goes much deeper than that." But the surprises don't end there. In a revelation that often raises eyebrows, Pete Wentz also claims a familial tie to former U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell. "Yeah, he's my great-uncle," Pete disclosed to Vice in 2013. Recalling a humorous childhood memory, Pete recounted meeting Powell during the Desert Storm era, a time that was heavily mythologized in popular culture. "I remember asking him, 'Oh man, are you going to be using bazookas?' I can't even imagine, wow, what a goofy thing to ask." Pete Wentz's diverse heritage and unique family connections add layers to his persona beyond his role in Fall Out Boy. Bob Marley. Bob Marley, whose name resonates with music lovers worldwide, transcended his humble beginnings in the poverty-stricken slums of Jamaica to become an iconic figure in both music and culture. Born Nesta Robert Marley on February 6, 1945, in St. Ann Parish, Jamaica, his heritage was marked by a poignant twist of fate tied to British colonial history. His father, Norval Sinclair Marley, was a white British naval captain in his late 50s when he met Marley's mother, Cedella, a young woman from the countryside just 19 years old at the time. Biography details how Marley's mixed racial background shaped his early years, recounting how he faced bullying and was mockingly labeled white boy by his peers in Jamaica. Yet these challenges fueled Marley's development of a profound philosophy. Reflecting on his experiences, he once expressed, "I'm not on the white man's side or the black man's side. I'm on God's side." Marley's journey from obscurity to international acclaim underscores his resilience and the universal appeal of his music. Aubrey Plaza. Aubrey Plaza, renowned for her role as the sardonic April Ludgate on NBC's Parks and Recreation, navigates a complex identity shaped by her mixed heritage. Born to a white mother and a Puerto Rican father, Plaza has often confronted misconceptions about her ethnic background due to her fair complexion. In an interview with Cosmopolitan, she remarked, "A lot of people don't assume I'm Puerto Rican because I'm fair-skinned, but I feel very connected to that side of my family." Despite her pride in her heritage, Plaza has also grappled with the challenges of being biracial. In an interview with Latina magazine, she shared her discomfort with winning awards solely based on her Hispanic identity, revealing, "I was winning the diversity awards and people were always calling bulls and bounds on me. I won the Hispanic Teenager of the Year and I felt terrible. I always felt like I didn't deserve to win because I was really half Latino." Plaza's commitment to her Puerto Rican roots extends beyond personal identity struggles. In 2017, following the devastation of Hurricane Irma in Puerto Rico, Plaza used her celebrity platform to mobilize support for the U.S. territory. Taking to Twitter, she urged her followers to join her in fundraising efforts, stating, "Please join my family to raise funds for Puerto Rico. Help rebuild paradise with us. We Heart, Puerto Rico. J. Cole. Rapper J. Cole, hailing from Fayetteville, North Carolina, grew up in a diverse environment shaped by his biracial identity. Born to a white mother and a black father, Cole has often reflected on how his mixed heritage has influenced his worldview. In an interview with XXL magazine, he discussed the nuances of his identity, stating, "I can identify with white people because I know my mother, her side of the family, who I love. I've had white friends. But at the end of the day, I never felt white. I don't know what that feels like. I can identify, but never have I felt like I'm one of them." For Cole, his racial identity isn't just about personal affinity, it's also about societal perceptions and experiences. He emphasized, "I identify more with what I look like, because that's how I got treated. Not necessarily in a negative way, but when you get pulled over by the police, I can't pull out my half-white card. Or if I just meet you on the street, you're not going to be like, this guy seems half-white." Beyond grappling with identity, J. Cole has integrated his personal experiences into his music, offering a perspective that resonates with many who navigate similar challenges of race and identity. His lyrics often delve into social issues, reflecting both personal introspection and broader cultural commentary. Slash. Born in England in 1965, Guns N' Roses guitar legend Slash, real name Saul Hudson, embodies a unique blend of cultural influences that shaped his musical journey. His father, Anthony Hudson, a white Englishman, was renowned for designing album covers for iconic artists like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Meanwhile, his mother, Ola Hudson, a black fashion designer, left her mark styling legends such as David Bowie, Diana Ross, and Elton John. Growing up surrounded by such artistic diversity undoubtedly left a lasting impression on Slash. Reflecting on his upbringing, Slash has often pointed out the profound impact of the political and cultural movements of the 1960s. In a 2011 interview with The Quietus, he described how these political things shaped youth culture, emphasizing that his biracial heritage placed him at the heart of this era's protest against the status quo. "Being born in England to an English dad and a black mom is about as 60s as it gets. My grandparents were floored," he remarked. The irony of his dual heritage hasn't escaped Slash. "As a musician, I've always found it amusing that I'm both British and black," he mused. He observed a curious dynamic where American musicians often idolized British culture, while many British musicians in the 1960s strived to emulate the soulful sounds of black American artists. This interplay of identities and influences has not only shaped Slash's perspective, but also enriched his musical expression. Ryan Lochte. Although swimmer Ryan Lochte has often been associated with the stereotypical image of white America dude bro culture, his background tells a more complex story. His mother, Ileana Lochte, was born in Havana, Cuba, and immigrated to the United States to escape the Castro regime. Settling in Florida, she played a pivotal role in shaping Lochte's path to becoming a 12-time Olympic medalist through his rigorous training regimen. Reflecting on her son's achievements, Ileana Lochte expressed profound pride in his representation of the United States. "When he won the gold medal, all I could think about was what my parents went through and how he's there representing the United States," she shared with NBC News. "My parents wanted us to be in the United States so badly, and to see him up there with the American flag, it was great." Despite Lochte's public persona, his visits home were steeped in his Cuban heritage, particularly through food. Ileana Lochte highlighted his love for Cuban cuisine, noting that whenever he returned, he indulged in dishes like picadillo and ropa vieja. "When he comes home, he has picadillo, he has ropa vieja, anything that he wants," she explained to NBC Latino, underscoring how deeply Lochte remains connected to his cultural roots, even amid his athletic pursuits. Halsey. Singer-songwriter Halsey made a significant impact on the international music scene with her debut album, Badlands. Despite her appearance as a white woman, Halsey, born in New Jersey, identifies as biracial, with a white mother and a black father, a fact she's eager to emphasize. "I'm white passing. I've accepted that about myself and have never tried to control anything about black culture that's not mine," the electro-pop singer clarified in a candid 2017 interview with Playboy. "I look like a white girl, but I don't feel like one. I'm a black woman, so it's been weird navigating that. When I was growing up, I didn't know if I was supposed to love TLC or Britney." Halsey's biracial identity led to some challenging experiences during her childhood. She recounted instances where her appearance prompted concern from strangers. "When I was little, if someone saw me and my dad walking through like a grocery store parking lot, women would come up to us and be like, 'Sweetie, are you okay?'" she shared with Vulture. These encounters highlighted the misconceptions and judgments people often make based on appearance alone. Despite these challenges, Halsey embraces her heritage and uses her platform to raise awareness about issues affecting mixed-race individuals. Her openness about her identity and experiences resonates with many who navigate similar complexities in their own lives. Olivia Munn. Olivia Munn, known for her roles in films like Magic Mike and for co-hosting G4's Attack of the Show alongside Kevin Pereira, has a heritage that might surprise many. While she's widely recognized for her beauty, Munn's ethnicity is not immediately apparent. She is of mixed descent. Her father is Caucasian, and her mother is of Chinese descent. Growing up, Munn also spent time in Tokyo and pursued modeling in Japan, embracing her Asian roots. This connection to her heritage was further showcased when she portrayed the mutant ninja Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse. In the realm of modern comedy, few duos rival the popularity of Key and Peele, with Keegan-Michael Key being a standout talent. Rising to fame through his roles on Mad TV and later co-creating the acclaimed Key and Peele show, Key has carved out a notable career in Hollywood. While perhaps not reaching the same level of recognition as his collaborator Jordan Peele, Key continues to thrive. Interestingly, Key's ethnicity mirrors his diverse upbringing. He is African American on his father's side and Caucasian on his mother's. In a twist of fate, Key was adopted by a couple who also shared this biracial background, reflecting the same mix as his biological parents. Zendaya. Zendaya's portrayal of MJ in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has garnered widespread acclaim from critics and fans alike. The actress, who rose to prominence as Rocky Blue on Disney Channel's Shake It Up, has successfully transitioned from her Disney roots to a diverse and dynamic career. Embracing her multifaceted heritage, Zendaya is African American on her father's side and Caucasian on her mother's side. Reflecting on her ethnicity, Zendaya has expressed how her name encapsulates a rich tapestry of cultural influences. "I get a mixture of all the worlds. I have my African first name. I have a middle name that is my mom's middle name, which is French but spelled in an African way, so it's literally me in a name. And then you have Stoermer, and then you have Coleman. I literally have like a timeline in history in my name." This blend of identities has not only shaped Zendaya's personal narrative, but also resonates deeply in her professional journey as a celebrated actress and cultural icon. Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa has been enjoying a meteoric rise in recent years, captivating audiences with his roles as Aquaman in the DCEU, Duncan Idaho in the latest adaptation of Dune, and a villain in the Fast franchise. With his imposing presence, Maori tattoos, and distinctive eyebrow scar, learn more about how he got it, many assume him to be solely Hawaiian. While Mamoa does have Hawaiian ancestry on his father's side, he is also Caucasian on his mother's side. Adding to his diverse heritage, Mamoa has connections to Native American ancestry, showcasing a rich tapestry of cultural influences that contribute to his dynamic on-screen presence. Cardi B has skyrocketed to fame since her breakout hit Bodak Yellow topped the charts in 2017, making her the first female rapper to replace herself at #1. With a Dominican father and a mother from the West Indies, Cardi B proudly embraces her diverse heritage. She clarified her ethnicity, stating, "I'm not Mexican at all. I'm West Indian and I'm Dominican. I speak Spanish because I'm Dominican." And it's like, so what's the difference between Dominican and Mexican? And it's like, everything. Cardi B's cultural background enriches her music and persona, reflecting the vibrant blend of Caribbean influences that resonate throughout her career. Eddie Van Halen. Widely celebrated as one of the greatest rock guitarists in history, the late Eddie Van Halen reshaped the landscape of electric guitar and dominated the charts with his band Van Halen from the late 1970s to the mid-1980s. Despite his appearance, which might suggest otherwise, Van Halen's heritage was a blend of Caucasian from his father's side and Indonesian from his mother's. Eddie Van Halen faced racism during his upbringing in both Holland and after relocating to California, where he recounted, "We already went through that in Holland, first day, first grade. Now you're in a whole other country where you can't speak the language and you know absolutely nothing about anything, and it was beyond frightening. I don't even know how to explain, but I think it made us stronger because you had to be." His mixed heritage and experiences profoundly influenced his life and musical journey, contributing to his resilience and unique perspective in rock and roll history. Who are some other celebrities whose mixed heritage surprised you? Comment down below to let us know. For more intriguing stories about celebrities and their diverse backgrounds, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on our series about celebs you didn't know were biracial. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay tuned.